Okay, how's it going, y'all? We're going to read some more Lenin. This was released 1915. This is How the Police and the Reactionaries Protect the Unity of German Social Democracy. Let's go ahead and get into it. In its issue of January 9, the German Social Democrats Gothier Volksblatt published an article entitled Police Protection for the Policy of the Social Democratic Parliamentary Group. The first 2 days of the operation of the censorship, quote, the first 2 days of the operation of the censorship, end quote, says the paper, which has been placed under the gratifying guardianship of the military authorities, quote, show with full clarity that the central authorities are particularly anxious to gag the undesirable critics of the policy of the Social Democratic Group within our own ranks. The censorship is designed to preserve, quote, party peace within the ranks of the Social Democrats and within the ranks of the Social Democrats. In other words, to preserve a united, cemented, and powerful German Social Democratic Party, social democracy under governmental tutelage. Such is the most important event in the internal policies of our great time, of the era of the rebirth of the German nation. Several weeks have passed since the politicians who make up our Social Democratic Parliamentary Group began, this is in quotes, quote, several weeks have passed since the politicians who make up our Social Democratic Parliamentary Group began an energetic propaganda campaign of their views. They have come up against strong opposition in several very large party centers. Their propaganda has put the workers in a frame of mind, unfavorable rather than favorable to those who vote for war credits, which is why the military authorities have sought to help the latter now by means of the censorship, now by abolishing freedom of assembly. With us in Gotha, this help is coming from the military censor. In Hamburg, from the ban on meetings. In quoting these words, accidentally missed my spot here. In quoting these words, the Swiss Social Democratic paper, which is published in Bern, adds that a number of social democratic papers in Germany have been placed under censorship, and continues with the comment. Very soon, quote, very soon there will be nothing to disturb the anonymity of the German press. If anybody attempts to affect it, the military dictatorship will firmly and rapidly put an end to that, acting on information supplied directly or indirectly by, quote, social democrats that stand for party peace, end quote. The opportunist social democratic papers do indeed, directly or indirectly, pass on information about the radical press. Consequently, the facts go to show that we were perfectly right in writing number 36 of Social Democrat. Quote, the opportunists are bourgeois enemies of the proletarian revolution. In times of crisis, they immediately prove to be open allies of the entire united bourgeoisie. As a slogan of the Social Democratic Party, unity today means unity with the opportunists and submission to them, or to their bloc with the bourgeoisie. This is a slogan which in actual fact aids the police and the reactionaries, and is disastrous to the labor movement. We might incidentally mention the appearance of a splendid pamphlet by Borchardt in German entitled Vor und nach dem Vor, August 1914, with the subtitle Hat die Deutsche Sozialdemokratie abgedankt. Indeed, it has repudiated itself, says the author, revealing the glaring contrast between party declarations prior to August 4th and the policies of August 4th. We shall stop at no sacrifice in the war against war. The Social Democrats of Germany and other countries said prior to August 4th, 1914, whereas on September 28, 1914, Otto Braun, member of the Central Committee, made reference to the 20 millions of marks invested in legal papers and their 11,000 employees. The tens of thousands of leaders, officials, and privileged workers who have been demoralized by legalism have disorganized the million-strong army of the social democratic proletariat. The lesson to be derived is as clear can be. A decisive break with chauvinism and opportunism, yet vapid social revolutionary babblers, J. Gardiner and Company, have in the vapid Paris Massy repudiated Marxism in favor of petty bourgeois ideas. Forgotten are the elementary truths provided by political economy and the worldwide development of capitalism, which produces only one revolutionary class, the proletariat. Forgotten are Chartism, June 1848, the Paris Commune in October and December 1905. The workers can advance towards their worldwide revolution only through a series of defeats and errors, failures and weaknesses, but they are advancing towards it. One must be blind not to see bourgeois and petty bourgeois influence on the proletariat as the main and fundamental cause of the International's disgrace and collapse in 1914. However, windbags like Gardner and Company would apply a remedy to socialism by completely repudiating its only socio-historical foundation, the class struggle of the proletariat, and by diluting Marxism with Philistine and intellectualist Narodnik verbiage. The call is not for strenuous work towards a rupture between the proletarian revolutionary movement and opportunism, but for unification of this movement with the opportunists of the Ravshin and Chernoff type who were bomb-throwing liberals the day before yesterday, renegades in the toga of liberals yesterday, and today delight in saccharine bourgeois phrases about the, quote, labor principle. The Gardners are no better than the Soidekums, and the socialist revolutionaries no better than the liquidators. This is why they all meet so lovingly in Sovremnik, a journal that advocates a program of a merger between the Social Democrats and the Social Revolutionaries. Okay. Yeah, so let's see what some of these are here. Jay Gardner was the leader of the Socialist Revolutionaries Party, V. Chernoff. Ropshin, the Socialist Revolutionary, B. Sakhanov. On August 4th, 1914, the German Social Democratic Parliamentary Party voted for war credits for the Kaiser's government. 5, this is 5 here. Sovremnik, which is the last newspaper journal he was talking about at the very end. The Contemporary, a literary and political monthly published in St. Petersburg in 1911 through 15, a group of Menshevik socialist revolutionaries, popular socialists, and left liberals formed around the journal, which had no roots whatever in the working class masses. In 1914, Lenin defined its trend as a blend of Narodism and Marxism. Narodism and Marxism. Okay, yeah, so that's how the police and the reactionaries protect the unity of German social democracy. Okay, yeah, well, thank y'all for tuning in, Y'all have a great day. Hit me up online, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, Medium, all of these. You can hit me up there. Marxist Saw. Y'all have a great day. Dodada Goi.